let's talk about everything I made last month. First out is a Vivi bag. It is worked in one strand of ribbon and a sequin yarn combined, and it's worked up in double crochet in a granny square pattern with a square base. And it's really simple, but I feel like I really like it. It's kind of cool with the contrast of the neon orange and the pastel powdery blue. I've also made Venus clutch. This is a rework on an old pattern that I have that I wasn't quite happy with, so I made it into a clutch. This one is knitted in like a mesh. It's like hard to see. I don't know if that helps. But it's worked up in a mesh pattern. I've knitted this one up in Mere Tull from Strikkefeber, but I also you can also use like ribbon yarn or anything that works. It's worked up in needle 8. Yeah, and I'm really happy with the look. It has a round base, which I feel like I don't see quite often in knitted or crocheted clutches. Really happy with that one. And next I made 2 flounder clutches. It's crocheted in single crochet with stripes on the body and with puff stitches for the mouth and the eyes. It's really childish and fun, and I really enjoyed writing this pattern. I also made one with glittery yarn. This one is Mere Tull from Strikkefeber, and this is a combination of ribbon yarn from Hooked and Hobby. I've also made Jane clutch. This is a knitted clutch. I feel like on social media I can see a lot of crochet projects like crochet clutches and crochet bags for the summer, and I feel like I meet quite a lot of people that don't know how to crochet and don't necessarily want to learn to crochet. So I decided to start making some knitted patterns in ribbon yarn and such, so knitters also have something to do during the summer. So the first one out was this Jane clutch. It is just plain stitch like stockinette stitch, knitted from the bottom and up with the covers for the frame. I also made a Jane bag, but that one is put up as a model at my local yarn store. But I can show you a picture here. And those 2 are the first one in a series, so I will also make patterns for ones that are in garter stitch, and I plan on making ones with ribbing and also ones with maybe cables, and yeah, I want to make everything. I've also been inspired by the hot summer here in Norway, and hot tropical summers reminds me about like strand bags, raffia bags, and I couldn't seem to find like simple raffia crochet bags, so I made some myself. This one is Coco clutch. It's in the size small, so it's a 19 centimeter frame. Here's the one in size medium. It's in a 23 centimeter frame, and I'm also working on one in 30 centimeter frame, so it's a large size. And they're easy and quick crochet project because they are all worked up in 2 strands of raffia on hook size number 6. So you can make most of them in just one evening. And this one needs 1 ball of yarn, and this one and the large size need 2 balls of yarn. Next one up is the butter bag. I worked it up with crochet hook size 12 and thick satin ribbon. I worked this one up in 5 centimeter wide satin ribbon. I also think it will be just as good with 4 centimeter wide satin ribbon. I find that the 4 centimeter might be a bit easier to find in stores. But I really like the feeling of it and the sheen. It's got a really nice sheen and really soft. I feel like when I crochet with like spaghetti, it can get quite stiff and sometimes quite hard, but this one is almost like the more you touch it, the softer it gets. And I'm really happy with this look. And the yellow color is really nice. And I've also made this bag. This one doesn't have a name yet. I have to work more on the pattern and make more samples. But I really like it. It's crocheted in half double crochet, where I've crocheted through the 3rd loop. So then it gets like this nice border on the outside. This one I've worked up in Mer Metallisk from Strikkefeber, and it's a nice like hot pink metallic yarn. I've also been inspired. I saw This Month I Saw the Moment by Charlie XCX, and you can tell with the project I was working on while watching that movie. This one is crocheted in Merigarn from Strikkefeber to get the perfect match to the tulle I had laying around at home. And I've crocheted in the tulle into the fabric. I've crocheted single crochet all throughout, and I'll like layered the tulle and folded it, and I just pressed the crochet hook through to fasten the tulle. And this one is really fun. I gotten a lot of compliments when I've been walking around. This one is named Volant Bag, and there will come a pattern. I'm also working on a clutch version because I like when it's fun, and yeah, I like the simple things but also the fun things. Next up is something I've knitted. I knitted my first pair of pants. It's the Hilder pants. It's a pattern that's currently being tested. It's knitted in plain stockinette stitch and with like straight leg, and I'm really happy with it. This one I made with 2 strands of Friends cotton silk from Hobby, and I really like the sheen, and it's really soft, and I feel like with just 20% silk you get a lot of silk feeling from it. You would think that it's more like 30 or 40%. And I feel like it's really nice. I'm also working up a pair in just cotton with 3 strands and with a merled effect with 3 different colors. I'm looking forward to see how those turn out. I've made loopy clutch. This one is worked with a loop stitch with a loop in front. I find that the yarn I used here is a bit too like silky and soft, so the loops kind of falls out. And I feel like this stitch, it works best with yarn that's a bit more tough and has a better hold. But I'm really happy with the look. It's kind of like a mop, but like a fashion mop. I really love it. The next one is the puppy bag. I'm really happy with this one. It's giving kind of like Marimekko, but it's freestyle, and I got some inspiration from different illustrators and such, so it's not like just Marimekko. But I really like that. It's very Scandinavian with the flowers and such, and fun to have a crochet bag that's color work as well. So I'm really happy. Really good. This one is worked up in ribbon from Hooked. I'm sorry the camera overheated, but the next one up is Carter bag. It's worked up in Mer Metallisk from Strikkefeber, and I quite like the short but wide shape, and it has defined base. And there's a really nice sheen to the yarn. And next one up is Pearl bag. This one is worked up in wide satin ribbon as well. It's also in 5 centimeter wide. and I really like it, with 12mm size crochet hook, and it's worked from the center of the side. Originally I wanted to name it bowling bag, but I feel like the satin sheen is so delicate and so nice that I wanted to call it a pearl instead, the pearl bag. And lastly is loopy bag. It's worked up with the same stitch as the clutch, but this one is worked up in ribbon from Hooked, and I find it to be a lot more successful, and I really like the look and the feel of this one. And it's like a giant mop that you carry on your shoulder, and I'm really happy with it. And the final project is this Paloma blouse that I've worked up in 2 strands of cotton. I don't remember the thickness, I will put it up here. But it's really fun, and it's kind of like a filet crochet, and yeah, I really like it with the boat neck. And it's really nice now during the summer with some airy holes. Okay, thank you for following along, and I hope you enjoyed to see everything I made last month. And let me know if you want to see my plans for July. I plan on making a video for that one as well. And I am planning to post a lot more here on YouTube forward, so I hope you want to follow me and continue to see everything I post. Yeah, and tell me what you made last month down in the comments.